Welcome to one more edition of Politics and Right. I'm Egberto Williams, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. Anyway, welcome aboard. Hey, AVQ is in the house. We also have in the house Bridge MCP, May Wood, E2247, Melanie Keelan from Barcelona, Spain, Norman Reynolds. Hey, everyone watching from YouTube. Norman, I gave you a call, I think last night. I hadn't heard from you in a while. Said, oh my God, let me make sure. And, I got to keep up and make sure all's good with my brother. All right, E2247 is in the house. Bruce Pollard is in the house. He said watching from Facebook. As well as Bridge, I think I called Bridge MCP, E2247, Michael Rudden. Everybody's here. A lot of folks are here. YouTube starting to pop up. Let me go ahead and fix this baby here. Get rid of that ad, so that I can see that everything is working on YouTube. We are going to have a great show for you today. How was everybody's weekend? New mic? Well, the mixer went down. I just got the RMA for the mixer today, but you know what? People are liking the sound of this mic, which I bought on Amazon. It's a good one, but it's a good, inexpensive podcast mic. And folks say it sounds better than my expensive mics connected to the mixer. You guys tell me, which one do you prefer? The sound of this or the sound of this one that actually costs more? It's not working. I got to send in the mixer that it's connected to. Anyhow, how are my peeps doing? I trust everybody is doing okay. Let's get those numbers up. Please start giving us those thumbs up. Start giving us those likes. Start giving us all that good stuff. I like the new one. Well, Bridge MCP, if you like it, that's the way it's gonna be, girlfriend. And we have Lee Grant in the house as well. He says sub 100 in Southeast Texas. Yeah, you're right. It's 97. Oh, wow. Thank you for letting me know that. Again, Lee Grant is in the house. AVQ says, Egberto, the audio video is good, so either mic is fine. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Okay, let's read what you guys are saying here. Oliver Anthony shuts down GOP speaking out his song. Richmond, North Richmond co-opted, taken over by conservative news. And he comes out and he said, nah, you guys on the stage, I was talking about you guys. I wasn't trying to be saying that you conservatives have it all or know what you're talking about. No. You guys, and look, I try to reach him, by the way. I sent him an email. I'm trying to get an interview with him, but I haven't gotten a response. I think he's probably washed in emails, and I'll probably be last on his totem pole. Who knows? Anyhow, E2247 also says, I wrote that song about those people so for them to sit there and listen to that cracks me up. In other words, I was talking about you guys. It cracks me up. Norman says, welcome everybody. Let's see, E2247, that song has nothing to do with Biden. That song was written about the people that on that stage. Exactly, that's what I was saying before. Maywood says, good afternoon. Let's see what else we got here. Para ver. Let's see. Bruce Pollard says, sound is more like you. We will see on the radio if you use it was okay today. Yeah, I actually, the show at KPFT today was a taped show that I taped last night because Howard told me that he had some jobs that he had to do, and I need Howard in the control room to kind of set the things up that I can do the live show on air from my studio here in Kingwood. So Howard is the greatest. So when he says, Egberto, I can't make it in this control room at the studio, so can you send in a tape show instead? I just say, yes, sir. All right. Michael Rones says, to me, any 90-plus degree temperature is way too high. Feeling glad I don't live in the South. Not sure how y'all handle the heat. Hey, air conditioning. My bill is over $700 this month. Crazy, right? It's like sort of a small mortgage. Madre mía, ¿qué lo que pasa? Well, I'm showing my age. Mortgages are way more expensive, aren't they? All right, let's see. Bridge MCP says, weird weather up here. Woke to having to wear sweats and flannel shirt. Then by noon, short and t-shirt and AC on. Wow, so it started out cool and then the heat just kind of rushed in. All right. Bridge, let's see who else we got here. Lee Grant says, Oliver has certainly provoked a national conversation. That is a good thing. And I like Oliver, but Oliver looks like he has I think he's been sort of listening to a lot of different things because he sounded a little bit QAnon with some stuff that he said, which I again, with the way these guys are pushing things about baby killers and all of that, it's easy where he lives for that stuff to kind of penetrate. So I wanted to get him on and let folks listen to what he has to say, because in learning about a subject, I went and I listened to some of the stuff that he had to say. And as people might say, well, why are you listening to this guy? Who the hell is this dude? Well, does he really matter? Actually, he does. Actually, he does matter, because he has a voice. He has a hell of a YouTube channel where a lot of people listen to his stuff. So he is an influencer, and we need influencers on our side. And when I say on our side, I mean on the side of the people, on the side of all of us. And he looks like he would make a good representative in certain areas of the country. So I like what Oliver's trying to do, what Oliver is saying. Oliver Anthony. So yeah, I'm going to try to get in touch with him and try to have a little talk with him as well. Robert Davenport, how you doing, my brother? He says, greetings, progressive. Greetings, my dear brother Davenport. Paul Fleming Sr. says, I'm checking in from ATL. Paul, great to see you, my brother. Great to see you. AC Rodriguez says, hey, y'all. And Robert Davenport says, March 4th jury selection has begun. Justice is coming. Yes, yes, and yes. And we have to hold it to it. Today I appeared I wasn't live on my show today, but I was live on You Talk with Steve Hunter. And we had a talk about what Trump meant or whatever. I need to go ahead and find that and cut it out, because I think we had some good, a little good conversation there on with You Talk. You Talk is my buddy. All right. Egberto, air conditioning is kind of a double-edged sword. The higher the temperature, the more energy you use, the more money you spend on electricity. And if you're not at 100% green, the more carbon you're emitting, which makes next year even higher. Air conditioning can only help us before things fall and people die. Minute Earth, the cruel irony of air conditioning. Well, Vivette, what is this? Vivette Mayor, I can never say his name right. I got to read it every time. I'm talking about him today. Anyway, Mao or Swami or whatever his name is, Ramaswamy, he thinks that that's the solution to climate change, air conditioning. Keep getting the temperature higher. The clown doesn't realize that the temperature has an issue with growing seasons, hurricane. Look, the guy proves that he's a Wall Street guy, right? He sells stocks and build up on companies and all of that. I always told you guys, Wall Street folk, they make the most money, but they know the least. When we get to acknowledge those things, we will start giving people the honor that they deserve. Okay, I want to start with, everybody heard about No Labels, right? No Labels is that group that is trying to come on board and claim, oh, let's go right down the middle. We don't know who are funding them or anything like that. They're considering running John Huntsman and what's his name? The senator from West Virginia. John Huntsman and you know who I mean. Anyway, that guy. And as it turns out, well, I don't know. I want you to listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other. Where are we going to take it again? On the other side.
Top story.
Former governor of North Carolina, Pat McCurry, appeared on Meet the Press today. He tried to make it seem as if America is clamoring for the No Labels third party run against Biden and Trump, right? But again, Daily Kos' founder, Markos Moulitsas, appeared on it to bust his bubble. Check out what Marcus did to him, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Pat, you are a big part of No Labels. You guys are recruiting candidates. What is this ticket going to look like? And is this a 100% commitment that there's going to be a ticket from No Labels?
Well, Nikki Haley in the debate confirmed that 65% of the people are disgusted with both Trump and Biden being our only choices. They're asking, isn't America better than this? Can't we have a better choice? And the momentum, the movement of No Labels is on fire right now. People are looking for another.
I get that people
candidate.
don't want.
And I know. Wait a minute. There are a lot of people. No, they're not. There are a lot of people. I'm telling you right now. There are a lot of people who predicted Trump would never be president. Are the same people who are saying there's no no way in hell a third party can win. I'm telling you, we've never had 65% of the people disgusted
no
with both
label
parties.
is literally a movement that says we stand for nothing. Imagine going to Walmart or Target and seeing no labels on the products.
You haven't read, obviously, the 30 issue statements with no labels.
The issue statement ignores abortion, and it has such
you missed a whole
barn-burning issues such as medical tort reform. That'll light up the audience.
You have not read it.
So the reality is it's finance industry heavy. Oh, I read it. No, I actually did read it. I read it last night. So
that's why you couldn't sleep.
Yeah, really.
Well, Nikki Haley basically repeated the no labels agenda.
No. So the problem isn't they don't like Biden or Trump. Is that you are creating this idea that there's a mythical unicorn creature that will agree with these people who want something else. That doesn't exist. When Magellan polled Manchin and Huntsman. Mm-hmm. It was what, 12%, 15%? And then we didn't even get that much.
All right.
I don't.
Markos, are you comfortable that there isn't a Democratic primary? Would you like to see Biden have to come up with a better case?
Biden is actually very popular amongst Democrats. In civics polling, civics with a Q, Biden is sitting around 80% with Democrats. There's no space. You think there's no space for an anti-Trump? There really is no space for an anti-Biden. And you talk about popularity. You see right now, Republicans going to groundbreaking ceremonies for Build Back Better and for Inflation Reduction Act, because taking credit for projects that they voted against.
But I actually would say that
Can you give us some names? Because Manchin and Huntsman that's not going to get you your unicorn. What other candidates?
I'm just saying, I don't think there's going to be
Will Hurd one of your candidates?
I don't think there will be a shortage of candidates.
Why can't you guys name some names?
Because we want to go through a good process. We're going to have a convention in April, and we're going to be very transparent with American people, as we were with the 30 issues, the common sense issues.
So who funds your movement? Are we going to talk about transparency?
What's that?
Who's the funding?
The same people who have groups that are funded with MoveOn.org that are trying to stop us from getting on the ballot.
So again, it is amazing that this guy comes onto TV, McCrory that is, to claim that there is a clamoring for no labels. Yes, it is true that America would like to see something other than a meeting between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, but it's because of the way things work, it's not going to be there. But the clamoring for a third party to make things up, you know what? Markos got him really good. Who's funding you? And not only that, what do you represent? You really give your name a good word. No labels. Exactly. No labels. You stand for nothing on all the issues that America say they want, which in general at a much higher than 60% are progressive. You have no stance. It is clear that no labels is coming into the fold, not to do something for America, but to ensure that an America that is moving towards policies that support people is slowed down. And why? That's why we have the corporate fantasy of a no labels movement that America is clamoring for. They're clamoring for no corporatist movement like no labels. America wants policies that support American people, the average American person, the working class. And right now that is only coming from the progressive aisle of the political spectrum in America, and that is represented by the Democratic Party. Absolutely so. Okay, let me get to the writings of my dear brothers and sisters. Let's start out here with, let's see. Vamos a ver, para ver. Manchin, you're right, Robert Davenport. Manchin is a senator that they want to run for president, and John Huntsman for vice president, or vice versa. Okay, we also have from Daniel J. Cohen. Brother Daniel is in the house. He says, no labels, save the country by voting for people who messed it up in the first place. Exactly. AC Rodriguez says, how many money are education do not like to serve me smart, but education will at least teach you about certain subject matters. Money just gives you the power to do what you want. Exactly. Lee Grant says, Ramaswamy translate to Lord Ramai, Hindu god. I didn't know that. Norman Reynolds says, I've been thinking we should follow the money. Win red for GOP politicians' support of Trump, especially since Jared developed it. Exactly right. E2247, he is the yang of the billionaire libertarian ultra-right. Lee Grant says, DeSantis means holy. What's going on here? AC Rodriguez says, money and education will make you smart. At least with an education, it makes you knowledgeable in certain subject matter. Money just gives you the power to do what you want, and a lot of times to do a lot of damage. In fact, that's what it has done so often. All right, Michael with one of his long ones again, but I'm going to read it. Michael says, Egberto, I have a long one, but please read this out for your clip. Wikipedia, no label says, as of July 2023, it is close to raising $70 million that it thinks will enable it to put a third-party unity ticket for the 2024 presidential election on the ballot in every state. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin and former Republican Governors Larry Hogan and John Huntsman have been mentioned as potential no labels candidate. As of August 23, the organization has ballot access in Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Nevada, North Carolina, Oregon, South Dakota, and Utah. Joe Lieberman announced in an interview with Fox News Sunday on that creep. On August 27, 2023, that the organization plans to hold a bipartisan nominating convention in Dallas, Texas in April 2024. No Labels does not disclose its donors, identifies on the grounds that we live in an era where agitators and partisan operatives try to destroy and intimidate organizations that don't like by attacking their individual supporters. Despite this, various publications have attempted to uncover the largest sources of funding for the group. Early donors to No Labels include billionaire Andrew Tisch. Imagine that. That's a right-wing clique, co-chair of Lowe's Corporation. Another one, Ron Schalz, founder of Panera Bread. I don't know him. Dave Marin, a former Facebook executive and supporter of Michael Bloomberg, along with with nearly 24 new donors. The New Republic reported that 2023 that No Labels has received major funding that included Harlan Crow. Oh, really now? The guy with the Supreme Court justice, leading donor to a Republican and conservative causes that embroiled in a controversy with Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Look, these money people, this isn't really money to them anyway. They could $70 million. One billionaire could give $70 million without a problem, and they can just use a Supreme Court law. McCutcheon allows them to do it. All right. Robert Davenport says, Marcus is a big fraud. That Republic clown carnival barker he jumped on, his unicorn was called Hillary. Let me just say this, my brother Davenport. I love you. Marcus is a friend too. And, let me just say this. I was a Bernie supporter. I was also a Bernie, not just a supporter, but a Bernie delegate who went to Philadelphia as a part of his Texas delegation to support and vote for Bernie. I ended up then voting for Hillary. It was Hillary, Trump. Hillary, Trump. I can say categorically, in my humble opinion, that I think our vote for Trump, not our vote, those who voted for Trump, play or complicit in the murder of all of those people who died in the pandemic. Because absent Trump, just like Obama did with Ebola, a strong United States president would have been able to work politically to minimize the spread of what occurred. Think about it. Coronavirus was exploded because we allowed it to fester. There were many other coronaviruses that could have done the same. Ebola could have done the same. There are many other pandemics that, because we had a responsible United States presence around the world, mitigated it. Not necessarily completely stopped it, but mitigated it. So by electing a fraud that we elected, we are generally responsible for all the evil that has occurred then. Now, let's qualify this. Had Hillary become president, those of us that are progressives would have had to continue a lot of work to do, because Hillary is a candidate, I think, that would have fit to some extent in these days with no labels. Okay? Our problem with no labels today is not that no labels couldn't possibly be Hillary-like. It's that no labels could allow a right-wing crackpot to get into the office. And in so doing, could affect us, yes, it could affect the democracy, but it could affect a whole lot more, our lives. And that is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. All right, so let's go ahead and so my brother Davenport. For me, it's not about, again, I know Marcos personally, and Marcos is a great guy. I'm just going to tell you that. He's a great guy. We get into we have differences in how we believe certain things about the Democratic. In fact, I used to do a lot of front page writing on Daily Kos, and some of the editors there kind of, I won't want to, we got into certain types of discussions because they thought many times I was too hard on Hillary based on where the policies were and where we needed to go. But altogether, I can tell you from somebody who knows the guy personally, and I know you know me, I wouldn't say this if it weren't the case. All right, let's continue. Daniela Doe says, whoa, $700 a month of electricity. That's quite a carbon footprint. Yeah, I know, but do you want me to just burn up and die, Daniel? Is that what you want? E2247 says, Berto, do you have the full interview of yesterday with Marcos? Yes, I don't have the full interview, but I also did a full interview with Marcos at Netroots that was much better. We even talked about new labels. It was much better than the one he did on MSNBC, because on MSNBC he didn't get more than 3 or 4 minutes to talk, maybe 3 minutes if that much. But he did a full 27-minute interview with me, or somewhere around that, with me when we went to Chicago. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find my interview with Markos Moulitsas. It's a very good interview. Check it out. All right, let's see. Michael Ron said, Daniel, don't worry about your carbon footprint. Get on 100% green energy supply company. I swear the BP ad campaigning that turned global warming from civilized program to individualist one did so much damage. Yes, it did. All right, Daniel Cohen says, I thought the left and the right could agree that Joe Lieberman is awful. Dunking on no labels should be unifying. Exactamente, hermano mío. AC Rodriguez says, sorry for the gibberish. My speech to text had a stroke. Ouch! But when they turned into conservative neoliberal, but it's true. Barack Obama need to break away from all the extreme part. Is it BO? Is that Barack Obama? Is that who you're talking about? I think you are. Norman Renault says, Joel Loserman is an empty suit. Yes, he is. Let's see what else. Lieberman is 81. I didn't know that. Wow. Let's see. British MCP says, September 6th, Judge Scott McAfee will hear the co-defendants in the sweeping election racketeering case at the time starting with Trump at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by Rudy Giuliani. Misty Hampton will be the last defendant to face McAfee at 3 p.m. 4 local television stations to bring live cameras and recording devices into the courtroom through September 8, which will cover the timeline during which all 19 defendants in the case are expected to be arraigned. Oh, wow. I didn't see that one yet. Thanks for bringing that up, Bridge. Michael Segberto, thanks for reading out the long one. Corruption of our republic towards a plutocracy is a horror to our nation and needs to be called out every time. You're right. Lee Grant says Trump and Cuomo both guilty. I don't. You know what? Let me take that one under advisement, Lee Grant, because I know what you're talking about. That what he did with the not really giving the information correctly about the homes. You're right. I gotta put that under advisement, but I see where you're coming from, and I am intellectually honest. I'm gonna take that one under advisement. Michael Rene says, if not for Trump downplaying the pandemic, turning public health efforts into a culture war, cause an excess of 400,000 Americans, and I think it would be. Remember, this stuff is exponential. I think it would have been even less than that. Brisa Egberto Willis, Trump got rid of Obama's Ebola stuff. They put away just in case. Mask, gown, etc. Imagine that. Bruce Parr says, I just put a John Young piece on the website that touches on Hillary. Thank you, Bruce. Hey, guys, let me just tell you, Bruce is one of our sysops at, all right, that shows my age again, sysop. Our editors at EgbertoWillis.com. He really helps out a lot, throwing probably, 10, 15 stories on the website every week. All right, let's see. AC Rodriguez says neoliberals are neoliberals, but as Trump has shown, a right-winger is worse in office. Fight the new liberals everywhere we can, but agree where we can agree to push things forward. That is what we have to do, AC. That is what we have to do. River Boys laced with circular saw separated imprisoned families. All right, what else have we got here? Bruce says, better to show Bernie's New Hampshire speech. Actually, let me tell you, I'm getting some cuts out of the interview Bernie did with on Chuck Todd, where he kind of pretty much there's a cut in that I have ready to go. I just didn't have the time to do it. That says all that he needed to say, really. But I'm going to put that out, Bruce. Daniel Edo says Egberto's a hypocrite on climate. $700 a month hypocrite. Tell me, what am I supposed to do, Daniel Edo? Climate change is here. I'm burning up. Please tell me what to do, sir. Please tell me. I think Rudden says as long as I'm using green energy. I don't think I am. I'm using partial wind turbines, etc. But I don't think I have the plan that's fully green because it's more expensive and, have a lot of bills. And politics done right pays little, All right. Let's see what else we got here. Robert Davenport says, I agree with you in the general election. My problem is Marcos was part of the rot in the primary season. I was active on Daily Kos in those days also. Not anymore because a lefty phony is bad. Just let me tell you something, Robert. And I'm going to ask you this as a friend. Please get back onto Daily Kos. Because it's people like you who gives it the direction. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I have spoken to Marcos on this issue on several times. Yes, he was a bona fide Hillary supporter, and he is a Hillary supporter. Okay, that's his candidate. That's our right in the country. I am a strong Bernie supporter. I am a lefty, and I think the policies I know people want. Okay, but we have to come together, and your voice, Brother Davenport, should not be off of Daily Kos. That is our meeting ground. And in fact, you should be out there, should have been out there in Chicago with us, brother. And in fact, we should have sitting down, you, me, and Daily Kos around a table, sitting down and going at it. We sat down and we had a good conversation. But no, please don't stay away. When you have the wherewithal, please come back to Daily Kos. That is our spot. That's our spot. Michael Rones says, Gilberto, there's 100% green energy SU in Texas. I know they're available in New York City. I'm pretty sure there is. You're right. All right. Let's see. Cuomo killed the elderly. I think there was some neglect there, but I don't have the full story. But if I get it, I'll be just as harsh. Let's see what else we got here. Para ver. Michael says, I wonder about the conservative mindset. If Cuomo mistake cost 4,000 deaths and Trump's mindset cost 400,000 deaths, you call that even? No, it's not even. But then again, he's a governor. The other guy was a president. So, we have to go with proportionality there, Michael Rudden. If he did the same thing that Trump did, whether it's 4,000 or 400,000, we need to call them out as well. Because and I'm serious about that, right? In other words, I don't have the full story, but if his known negligence, in other words, if he did this knowing that people would die, when Trump did it with the thing, he knew people were gonna die, and he did it purposefully for political reason. If Cuomo is congruent to that, we have to hold him accountable as well. That is what intellectual honesty demands. I think I have Egberto's share not green covered. Okay. Thank you, bro. You are all both you and Norman have my share. You guys are both powering your house with solar panels. Bridge MCP says, LOL, you're right on target as usual. And Bruce says, when the hurricane comes, I will be charging people's cars for a price. You're not going to charge people. You're going to be a nice guy like you always are. LKF, welcome to Politics Done Right, says, only thing Zero Labels can do is get the worst possible candidate elected. Dems in great numbers will vote for them. Seems that what they really want Trump to. All right. I want to tell a story here. And this is a racial story here. You know, I got a lot of work done this weekend. I got a lot of blogs done, a lot of shorts. I'm starting to use shorts on TikTok and all these other platforms, right? So I got a lot of work done. And in the process, you know, I have two TV. My daughter think I'm crazy. I'll be listening to TikToks on this phone. I'll have the news channel on this TV, and I'll have maybe something entertaining on this TV. And there's an entertaining program that I'd never seen before called The Raft. I think it's a Raft on Discovery Channel. And in the process of watching that, I saw something that really, it hurt me to the core because it's something that happens to me over and over again. It has happened to me even here on Politics Done Right. I'm going to just play the piece where this, let me set it up here. There is this, all these people are on the raft, and there's this black woman and I think it may be a Muslim white woman that they got into a confrontation, and the white Muslim woman said something to the effect, you want to fight me or something like that. And the black girl says, you must not know who I am. And, you know, and when the girl was coming up to her, she said, step back. And one of the white girls in the group then said, that scared me. It made me feel unsafe. I tell you what, I want you to watch this, and then we'll take it on the other side. This is what the dangerous racism is. Not the racism where people are calling you the N-word and all this other kind of stuff. It's the subtle one that actually affects your livelihood, your deep senses, and much more. I really want you to listen to this and watch it in detail. So if you're typing and all that kind of stuff, I'm asking you to stop and listen to this, and let's discuss this part. Because this, I mean, I almost cried at the end because I felt and knew exactly what she was feeling and going through. Check this out. Now, I really hope all of you that are listening to this actually really listen to this. I did a whole lot of cuts in there because, you know, that takes a lot of spine and copyright issues, all that good stuff I have to get around by, just because it has to be a fair use that I can actually play this here. So I made sure that what I'm doing is discussing exactly what's happened for the fair use issue. What I'm trying to say is the following. It doesn't matter about missing the part that the argument occurred breach. Let me just tell you what. Two people were fighting. It was a very short argument. I mean, a short argument where apparently there was a problematic woman, and the black girl just said something, you don't know who I am or whatever. And then Melissa, the young white girl, says, I don't feel safe. You know, I don't feel safe. And she not feeling safe, she convinced all her other white friends, except for this very strong, the bearded guy that you would not think is he's pretty damn progressive. He comes out and he says, it just looked like a regular spat to me. I want to digress for a minute here. I've been doing Politics Done Right for over 15 years. And it used to be called Liberal Politics Done Right. Okay? And I was on a station in Canada. So I did 4 hours straight on Saturdays. And I'm always, you know the character I have. I want to talk to everybody and I'm gracious with everybody, etc. Now, one particular time, I don't remember what the subject was, but I got very animated, and I started to say that is wrong, and it is, I was very animated. But it was there was this white woman in the Kingwood area Democrats that watched the show all of the time, and she said, Egberto, why were you so violent? Egberto, I had never seen you that way. And, I'm like, oh, no, I mean, I was just upset about what occurred. But she then expressed that she was sort of now kind of scared for the reaction that she saw with me. And you guys have seen me get excited many times on the show. So then I went ahead and I listened to my show again, watched it to see if I somehow came across like I wanted to kill somebody or something like that. And it wasn't. It was just me getting riled up about a subject like anyone would. And I called her back and I said, wow, I am surprised that you looked at that video or you watched me and that is the first impression you got. And I made her know that that was really her issue, because she took the stereotype of the black man, the angry black man that white people fear, and she stamped it on me. And I love what this black girl said in the program. She said, have you ever thought that I was the one afraid? Did you ever think that I was the one afraid? I'm one of the few black people on this barge. Do you feel or can you empathize that I could be the one in fear here? I'm going to read what other people have said up top, but Michael Cisak is a classic example. The real problem is denial of blacks and their penchant for violence. They have much higher murder rates in black neighborhoods. This isn't the fault of whites. Oh, really? It isn't, huh? I listen to what Mike Cisak just says, because it shows you how indoctrinated we are. It wasn't black people cutting off other folks' balls. It wasn't black people whipping other black people till their bodies bleed or bled into the skin and the bones. It wasn't black people frying black people alive. It wasn't them forcing others to do it. It wasn't them murdering and killing and all of that. That wasn't something inherent to black people. We have to refocus, and this isn't an attack on white folks at all, right? This is an attack on violent people. This is an attack on criminals. Now, going back to the program that I saw there, because like I said, the tough racism isn't the one where, like Mike Cisak, you watch what Mike Cisak is either, and I like Mike Cisak, but he's either a blind racist or he is completely indoctrinated. I take the latter, because when he says the real problem is the denial of black violence, I know black people killing black people in the ghettos and at a higher clip. Just like white people, 88% of white people kill white people, 91% of black people kill black people. Black on black crime is real, white on white crime is real. The percentage of black people doing crime, yes, it's higher than whites. Why? Because of socioeconomics. That is a reality. Okay, Mr. Cisak, if you go ahead and normalize for socioeconomics plus the stress of racism, I bet you see the same results. You know why? Because we do. Okay, because we do. So, but let's get back to the program. The program was essential. The program was important. When she says it's hard, I've seen this so many times. This one white girl felt threatened. She felt unsafe. And because she felt unsafe, the black woman who isn't a violent black woman must pay the price of the unsafeness that she feels. When a police officer is in front of a black person, a black man, most of the time, sometimes black women, what they say, I felt unsafe. A white guy comes, and I have these videos on my site. A white guy is attacking a police officer with a broken bottle. He never thought about pulling his gun. He ran back and he tased and he ran. Until, and Mike Cisak, this goes to you. Until you open your eyes, and start looking at things not how you were predisposed or indoctrinated to look at, I don't want to hear it. Again, because I've taught you. I repeat, CSAC, I've taught you things. You can decide to learn it and become a non-racist or an anti-racist, or you can continue to learn, keep within your indoctrinative state and be a bona fide racist because it is who you are. You can make that choice. All right, let's go ahead and read the commentary there. But I felt for the black girl because at that point I saw it was like, it's out of my hands. I have to play. Look, when I go into stores, and I'm just give you a personal thing. You guys, you know what you guys should do? You guys should subscribe to my newsletter so you can read my entire book, Tribulations of a Afro-Latino Black Man. Okay? Because I explain a lot of these situations in my book over and over again on a lot of, a lot of stuff that's happened. I'm a nice disposition. I smile. I keep my smile, all that good stuff. But all of those who subscribe to my newsletter get to see all of my books, including Tribulations of a Afro-Latino Caribbean Man. And this one hurt me. This one touched me. And again, I just accidentally stumbled onto the show. And as I saw what this black girl was going through, I was like, oh my God, babe, she's 36 years old. I'm an old man. And I'm sitting down there and I'm saying, man, I get it. Man, I understand. I understand the core of what she felt. Knowing that any one of those white folks on that raft, if they had done the same thing that she had done, nobody would have said, I felt unsafe, because you've seen them do it. Nobody there would have said, I felt unsafe. But one white girl said, I felt unsafe. And you know what I love about the bearded white guy? He's like, I didn't see that at all. And what he said at the end was important. This is an experiment, and we should stop this. And what the two white guys there were great in the commentary that they made. Okay, let me read what you guys have to say before we end the show real quickly. Let's see what we got here. I don't watch reality TV. Egberto, I really hope there's a point. Well, yeah, there was a point, of course, Michael, and I think I just spoke about it. Brisa Egberto Willis, I guess I missed the part. They argued. I showed you that. I just spoke about that. Robert Davenport says, white people's irrational fear always create real-world harm for black people in America. Right. It's an irrational fear. It's an irrational fear. The people that should really be fearful, I'll be honest with you, to my white brothers and sisters, I want you to think about this. Who should really fear who? Think about this. Who should really fear who? Right? Think about it. Who are the ones that were in shackles? Who are the ones that are murdered by cops? Who are the ones that are, thrown in? Look at all. Who should fear who? So Davenport, you're so right. That is why DeSantis can rally white people around rewriting history for schools. But the truth of the matter is the violence that has occurred in this country, the people that should be feared, and this is not a white or a black thing. This is about the people who effect the violence thing. The people that have affected the most violence in this country, they don't look like me. They don't. The most violence in this country was not effected by people who look like me. I'm not trying to be better than anyone else, but I'm just saying that's a statement of fact. Okay? All right. Let's see. Roberto Lewis says she's so right. Being a strong black woman is not easy, but this what we face in the workforce still. Exactly. Bree says, welcome to the black women's world. Exactly. Eric K says, one thing, it is a humanity only. Bruce says, just ask the director what he told them to say and why. Norman Reynolds says, amen, brother Davenport. Black people in the U.S. are the ones with targets on their backs. And like I said, who are the ones who should really be faring? Bridge MCP says, those reality shows really do have scripts. A friend was on one. I agree they have scripts. But the truth of the matter is that what you saw there, that part, right? I don't deny that they have scripts, but that is a reality we live. That's a reality. That's why I could empathize with it. AC Rodriguez says, in my experience, many folks are like this. They like to cause waves, but when the water gets pushed back on them, they get scared and fold. It's much easier to try to be nice and reasonable with people. If you want to be a badass, make sure you bring the courage with it. Daniel Lado says, don't feel safe is now code for racist. Whoa, Egberto is the king of racist fever dreams. Wow, if you really think that. Hay says it's all a personal issue. Mike Cisak says the real problem is, I'm not going to read that again. Roberto Lewis says when a group agrees to the one that started the problem, it becomes dangerous. Exactly. Bridge MCPC, yeah. Mike C, it's because their brains are smaller. Oh my God, racist much? Let's see. Mike C. Oil in all white areas where the murder rate is just the same because it's the people that live around you. Exactly. Arabs, let's see. Mike Cisak says the murder rates in nearly all white neighborhood is practically zero. That is not true at all because you see, again, you don't look at stats. Go ahead and look at the white neighborhoods, quote unquote, in Appalachia. Okay? Yes, it's scattered out, but do the comparative analysis and you'll find it. By the way, I've done it. Mike Cisak, get educated. Daniel Edo says, apparently a broken black culture is completely the fault of white people. Actually, let me first say, it's not the cool thing to say, but actually, yes, it is, right? Yes, it is, okay? Yes, it is. And I don't mean white people like my sister, Bridge MCP, Alistair Waters, Bruce Pollard. I'm talking about the white power that has been. Yes, that is a statement of fact. Thank you, Ledo, for actually stating it. Okay? And no, it's not that blacks have zero power. It's that blacks don't have the power to control the system. All right? Just like women don't have the power to control the system. Bruce Pollard says, perhaps the director's intent was to get watchers to feel something and then discuss it. Well, again, I think in this case, for what happened there, I think it wouldn't have been the director, but the director plus the editors to tell the story. And it was an important story to tell. Mike Cisak says that only folks who have a lower motor, I'm not even going to go there because you refuse to learn, but you know, you continue. Michael Rudden says the desperation that comes from poverty is a leading cause of crime, violence, and revolution. It's not race. You're very intelligent, Mike Rudden. Very, very intelligent. You get it. Bruce Pollard says Asians, low murder rate. They go to meet the time of thing. You know, and that's true. Look, all races, because race is a stupid thing. Race don't exist. We just use colorization here for a purpose in America. So I have to speak in the terms of colorization. So my pigmentation gives me a certain amount of fear for others and all that kind of stuff. But race is stupid because Bruce is my white brother. All right. Bruce and I, we share the same kind of beliefs. Except he's a little bit more to the middle than I am. But he's my brother, okay? And my white brother, Norman, Lou, Devin, my black brothers, what's her name, my white sister here. What I'm trying to tell you guys here is this. Functionally, there's nothing different to us other than pigmentation and a few things that will give each of us predispositions to different kind of genetic diseases. But other than that, we damn the same. But we used it. Our capitalist system requires all the divisions that we have. And it's what's created Ledo and Cisak and guys like that. Roberto Lewis says, I think Mike Cisak is ignorant to society around. You need to get out of the box. You're absolutely right, Senor Roberto Lewis. Daniel Ledo says, what do you call someone who sees everything through a racial lens? I call them Daniel Ledo. Robert Davenport says, Mike Cisak watched the film Leonardo DiCaprio, Gangs of New York. What about all those famous cowboy shootouts? I mean, it's famous. It's what you call selective thinking. They forget that all the crime in this country, from the inception of this country, was to murder millions of indigenous people. Black folks are yet to attain that. To murder millions of people coming over in the slave trade. I mean, these things were done under the auspices of Belgium, under the auspices of Portugal, Spain, England, France. Shall we continue? The blood on the hands on those countries, and I call it the leadership, because it's not the people. The people are good. But let's be frank. The assassinations, the killings, the murder, the genocide. You know where it really is. Come on now. Read history. Persu Calta says, amazing. Thanks so much. Thank you very much, Paxos Calta. All right, let's see who else we got here. Paul Fleming says, the white women felt unsafe because she's been taught to fear people of color. And it's obvious that she wasn't raised around a lot of different people of color. And it took one reception of threat to make her react that way. But the thing about it is, as opposed to the other, well, it's a show, of course. But the ideal thing, I tell my white friends, right? They'll tell me, and I think I've told you this before, Bruce. There are certain things that you got to do because your pigment is white. There are certain things that you can do that I can't easily do. I got to first break through my hue first, but you don't. Okay, Bruce says the solution is for each of us to have compassion and do what we can to help each other, of course. And that's what I do. That's what you do. Lee Grant says, whoa, lots of racial essentialism in today's show. Yes, sir. It's essential. I'm glad you said it, essentialism. Peggy Lopez says, I get it. Having a work history of working in male-dominated work environments, it happens to lone women with all males. I agree. I've seen it myself as well. Eric Hayes says, you can't tell people how to feel. No, but you know what? We can have laws so that their feelings don't affect our livelihoods, right? That's why we need laws. Because I need a cop who has a feeling of fear, not to allow his feeling of fear to kill me. So I need a law that's going to say, if you kill me out of an unwarranted fear, you're going to pay the price. Okay, Paul Fleming says, if we were raised in a society that had to do public service, then we would know that we are more alike than different. Exactly. Lawrence Swan says, they look like men of all colors. Men are the most violent. Yes, that's true. Daniel Ledo says the most violent in Africa committed by blacks did. No. Stop it. Don't forget about Europe. Talk to Tim Wise. Tim Wise is a wise white guy. Go look for Tim Wise. I've interviewed him here before. Check him out. I got to end the show, but I need to continue. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Mike Cisak said, Robert Davenport, such instance. Davenport, that's not making, Cisak is not making any sense. There is no race, just a human race from Bridge, that you're correct. White guilt time. It's not white guilt. It's truth. Paul Fleming says, let's see what else I got here. Oh, my God. No white guilt, Lee. Just calling out racism where it is. You know, that's why I love my peeps. Okay, I got to get out of here. Don't. First of all, let me just tell you something about statistics. Because you look at crime in my neighborhood, which is mostly white, kids who do things, many a times, they don't even get a chance to go to jail or get a record. Kids in South Park, Texas, they do get a record. So you compare those numbers, it will be completely skewed. And you know why it's skewed? Racism. Anyway, I got to get out of here. Before I get out of here, I want to ask all of my brothers and sisters to please subscribe to my newsletter. That's how we can continue doing what I'm doing. Subscribing to my newsletter allows me to continue doing this, allows me to be able to do even more. So please remember to go to politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. I'm sticking that into the thing. Hey, Cisak, you're here every day. Why aren't you a subscriber to my newsletter? politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. Please subscribe. And if you want to know all the different forms in which you can support this program, go to politicsdoneright.com/support. politicsdoneright.com patreon.com/support. Look, my name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? I'm what? Out! We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.